Welcome back for another quick hit review video. So here on the Aussie dollar CAD, I'm going to put a structure level on from where we closed a few days ago, not yesterday, the day before, and you can see right here we have a confirmed break below, close below. However, it has come straight into this minor level of structure. However, just below it we have this major level of structure, and when we have two levels of structure close together like this, typically we test the lower one. Now if we look left at minor level of structure, there is nothing else, so I am expecting that to be violated, particularly with this lower low lower close candle, but yesterday we have held that level. So as we drop down to 240, we have a nice move like this lower, a pullback, and then we've made a new low, making this the actual outside return. And what I'm paying attention to just here is that after we had a big bullish candle, we have held this area. We have been unable to violate it. I'm going to go ahead here and highlight the wicks, just like that. And you can see that we're actually trading within that zone. Now if I drop to the 60, we can see we have a little bit of a double top action going on here. Now it's not valid on the 60 because we don't have the RSI overbought enough for me. If it is valid for you, you have an opportunity here to get involved, but for me I've been more aggressive and I've dropped to the 15, and right here we have that double top. And the thing with this double top is that we have violated the lower level right down here, giving us a potential rotation, and we're now pulling back for another retest or a 2618, which is where you simply put a fib on and you sell the 61.8. I'm actually in this trade, gone 10 pips above the high, playing for a retest of structure lows and an extension. So retest of the candle closes just down here, and the extension is that lower level of structure down at this level. So just work out the reward to risk on this trade. What I would say is that because we've dropped 2 time frames here to get the entry, and this double top hasn't come in at any major structure, this isn't as high probability as maybe some of the other trades. However, we do have a nice structure level to put our stop loss. We have the higher time frame confirmation, and we have a nice reward to risk. So more of an aggressive trade this, but when we're aggressive we want to be conservative at the same time, and that's why we've used a double top entry here. I actually need just, the ATR here is 3, so I'm actually only going to go 8 pips above the high. So the risk on this trade is actually only 16, so giving me a nice 2-to-1 there to targets. The next one is the pound yen. Then we're looking for a violation on the pound yen of a 60-minute structure level. I'll do the higher time frame analysis first. We are looking bearish on this currency pair. Structure level on at the closes of the candles from a few days ago, and what we've done is we've held this level, and right now we are down in the wicks. It is looking like we're going to violate it, though we have no confirmation. We can certainly come a lot lower here on the pound yen. Down to the 240. We had news out the other day which gave us a bit of a weird spike, but this is what the market was doing. We were moving lower like this, and we came up here, put in a 3-bar reversal, and then we've just been moving sideways. This wick right here is stopping us from putting in a new structure low, but we are slowly dribbling down. And this is what I'm really interested in, is here on the 60, this was our low just here. We have clearly now broken below that level, and right here we have a directional move. We then have the market coming down for a retest down here. So 1, 2. You can look at this as though it's a triangle, giving you 4 tests. You may want to wait for a violation here, a pullback and a chance to get short. If we drop down to the 15, what you have on the 15 is you've had multiple lower low, lower close candles. So you had the market that came up to retest this area. It gave you a lower low, lower close. It pulled back to the trend line again and gave you another lower low, lower close. And look at what we're doing now. We're just holding that level. Indication here that we could be seeing a drop. Targets, I would treat it like a triangle. Throw a fib on, look for that 127. Down at around that 139 psychological number. Pound Aussie. Few things on the radar here for Pound Aussie. This is on the 5 range. So here on the 5 range we have a cipher pattern looking like this. We also have a Gartley pattern looking like that, and we're looking at the 786 for the cipher, and we're looking roughly the same area for the Gartley pattern. So for me personally, you might want to look for a conservative entry down at the bottom, maybe a double bottom, something like that. New Zealand yen, potential here to go a lot lower. Okay, I'm going to go out to the dailies first of all. One thing to bear in mind is that we are within these big wicks, this big wick here. But if we zoom in, look at what we're doing. Sideways movement. We have failed to break to the upside, and right now we are pushing lower. So I do think there is room here to go to the downside. On the 240, what we had was this level of structure where this wick is, and we have violated that level of structure. And since then, our next lowest level was here, and once again we have put in a new structure low. So looking bearish on this currency pair. Right, so going to the 60, we have first of all a butterfly, X2A, A2B, B to C, and CD completion will be as a minimum that 127. And if we're looking at trend, then we have from this point a move lower, a pullback, a move lower. Pay attention to this structure level right here. This was a low and tight flag. We violated it. Obviously here now, if I put a structure level on, this is another break below, close below all our structure levels. And our kill zone comes into the wicks right here. So we can drop one time frame lower and look for an entry reason within this zone. Simply a lower low, lower close candle here. What we can do is if we get a lower low, lower close, something like that, this stops an ATR above the high, which is 3. I'd personally go 5 pips. Like that. And we would look for a retest of the lows. Now, this does give us an inverse reward to risk. So if we do get that lower low, lower close, maybe set a limit order halfway up just to give us a 1-to-1 as a minimum. And can potentially hold here for secondary targets. But if you can get an entry on this, you're looking at a risk of around 16 for around 17. So smallish trade. And the last one is the dollar yen. So here on the dollar yen, let's do the high time frame analysis. Only looking bullish on this currency pair. So we have our structure level on here. We did violate to the downside, but we are currently working our way up, and we have put in here a big higher high, higher close candle. Looks as though we can come up to test this structure level and the 1100. Let's go to the 240. Been trending very nicely here. We had a new high, outside return, new high, outside return, new high, outside return, new high, outside return. We can look anywhere in this outside return for long opportunities or just within the wicks. We have our structure level up here, which we believe price can come to, so there is room to go higher. We drop down to the 60, and what we did is in this first kill zone, which is the wicks, which is higher probability for me, which is right here, where we've got structure, we've come into this zone and we've put in a nice 3-bar reversal. Now we haven't violated any structure, but you can be aggressive and get involved with the trade now. I would go an ATR below our outside return, so it's going to give you here. So this is the key level for me that I would pay attention to, and then I would look for first targets up here, or if you wish, simply play for a 1 in 1 out and play for that extension, giving you a far nicer reward to risk. We are trending heavily here, so I would just do a 1 in 1 out, 32 of risk for a reward of 63. But if you do want to wait for a little bit more confirmation, wait for us to violate this structure level. Okay guys, that's all for now.